Hi there, Detective Diamond. Sorry, I hope you weren't waiting too long. Go ahead and just take a seat. So, I understand that you wanted to talk to me about what happened on 12th Street and Dobblin's Road today, right? Yeah, there was a pretty bad robbery there, and it went severely wrong from what we can see. So, I have been told, and I guess you have stated that you were a witness to this incident, right? Okay, yeah, per the report, I did see that. So, basically, my job is to figure out what happened, what went wrong, who was involved, the how, what, when, where, why, break it down, try to figure out what happened, and catch the people who are responsible for this crime. So, what I need from you is I just want to ask you a couple of questions, get a little bit of information about you, and then I will go ahead and move on to my incident report questions, where I just ask that you be as thorough as possible, as honest as possible, and just give me every detail. You can over explain, just don't under explain, okay? Alright, you get the idea. So just relax. Obviously, I'm not interviewing you right now as a suspect or anything like that, and I would hope that that wouldn't be the case and that we don't have to have another meeting with you being the suspect. I'm just kidding. If we get to that point, I'll be severely disappointed. Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me just see here what I'm missing from this report. All right. Can I please get your birthday? Month, day, and year, yeah. And your last name, please. And go ahead and just spell that for me. I want to make sure we're 100% accurate. And your first name? Alright. How about your middle initial? Perfect. Thank you very, very much. And where are you currently residing? Camel Road. That's a block away from the incident? Interesting. No, I'm not saying there's a connection, but that's kind of strange that you are so close to this. But I guess that is a valid reason why you might be a witness. Were you driving past, going home? Alright, okay, we'll get to it. That's fine. Let me just make this clear. And how many people live with you? Is it just you? Do you have a family, kids, spouse, anything? So 3 people total? Okay. And at the time of this incident, were they at home? Were they with you? Were you just by yourself? Okay. Sounds good. And do you know your social security number, please? Completely confidential. It's not going to go out anywhere. It's just so we can definitely and absolutely identify you as being the individual that you say you are. Okay? Thank you very much. I understand the lack of desire to want to give out your social security, but I can trust you, or I can tell you that it is safe with me. I can assure you of that. Can I trust you? Okay. So let's start getting into this a little bit. Let me see. Now I'm going to ask you, I'm going to jump around a little bit. That's how I like to do my reporting. So you may notice that I'll ask you a question pertaining to the incident, and then I might ask you something about your mental state at the time, or about your sleep last night, or about if anyone else can corroborate where you were. So just know that every time I'm jumping around, there's a valid reason, and I just am doing my job to get as much information as possible. If there's anything that you don't know how to answer, if you're confused, if you're not sure what to say, just go ahead and let me know, hey, I'm not sure. Alright, that's it. So, go ahead and just explain to me, where did this happen? I have the incident report, but in your own words, go ahead and just tell me, where did this robbery take place? And what is the color of the house? Does it have shutters? White. And is it a 2-story or a 1-story house or more? 2-story. Okay. The reason I asked this is, of course, we just want to make sure we are on the same page and that you have a good understanding of what's going on and that we have an understanding that we're talking about the same location. So, when did this happen? Can you tell me, don't say, oh, sometime this morning. Do you have a pretty definite time in which you think this occurred? Okay. So you heard someone screaming about 8:25 this morning, and you saw suspects running out of the house. Okay. And what were you doing? Just driving by? Okay. And you hang a right at that stop sign right there, and it takes you back to your block, right? Okay. So you're driving past. You hear the screams. What do? You pull over? You pull off the side of the road? And how did you hear the scream? Did you have the window cracked? Usually if you're in the car, most people have music playing. They're not really hearing a lot about what's going on outside. So how exactly were you able to hear that? Okay, your window was cracked. Oh, it doesn't roll up all the way? How come? Okay. Did you get that fixed? And so then what happens? So you pull off and what? Okay, so you see them. When you say you see them running out of the house, how many is it? Is it 2 people, 3 people, 4 people? 3 suspects. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And what are they doing? Okay, so when they get into the silver Dodge Ram, do you know what the license plate was? Did you get any of that? Was it older, newer? Like a new Dodge Ram? Any distinctive factors on it? Was there stickers? Maybe was there taillight tint? Was there anything you could think of, a push bar on the front? You have the last digits of the license plate? Okay, what are those? 3-5. That's all you could remember? Okay. And so what happened? They got in the Dodge truck and they just peeled out of there, or what? Yeah, okay. So they drive off. Which way did they head? Do you know? Eastbound? Well, there is, I believe, that same stop sign at the end of that street that you would normally go. So you're driving this way. You're driving westbound or you're driving eastbound? So they cut in front of you, hit that stop sign, and made a left? Okay. And then you didn't know where they went after that? Okay. Alright. So we have that. Okay, so we have 3 possible offenders. We have you as the witness. Was there any other witnesses? Were you the only person to see this happen? Nobody else came out of their houses. Nobody else was driving by. Just you? Okay. That's strange. Usually if someone is screaming like you're saying, there's more than one person who picks up on that. And people are nosy, so they usually come outside and try to figure out where's that weird sound coming from. So, that's okay, but it is something to note, and it is a little interesting. Okay. Do you know the people that live at this residence? Not at all. Never seen them, don't know who they are. Okay, so not known. And when you say that you heard screams coming from inside the house, did you say it was a woman screaming, a man screaming? What did you hear? A woman? Okay. And what was she saying? Do you remember exactly what she said? Help. Okay. That's it. Okay. Now, prior to this incident, where were you at? Okay. So, would you say you left around 8 from the store? Or what time do you think that would have been? Because that's a 25-minute window then that you would have to put yourself in front of that house. Might have been later than 8:20 that she left the store. 8:15. Okay, well, which one? Just to the best of your ability. 8:15. All right. What did you buy there? Just some breakfast items like... Okay. Now, is there anyone else that can corroborate that you were there? Maybe they saw you, they spoke to you briefly. Anyone that can say, yes, they were there, I did see them at that time at the store? Not sure? All right. Do you know who might want to commit this robbery on this house? Do you know, did you recognize anything about the suspects? Maybe you heard something around town about them being a target. Did you hear anything or think of any reasons why this might happen? It's a very quiet area. It's not very common for things like this to occur. No idea at all? Okay. Now, prior to this, have you consumed any alcohol or substances today or last night? No? Do you ever use alcohol or substances? Okay. Occasionally, sometimes. And what might that be? Oh, you better be careful with that. But this isn't about that right now, so. Okay. How much sleep did you have last night? Did you sleep regular? Get a good night's rest? Did you have interrupted sleep last night? You didn't sleep too good? How come? Couldn't get comfortable. Okay. All right. And when you saw this incident occurring today, how did you feel? Did you feel frightened? Did you feel scared? Did you feel anxious? What emotions described in that moment when you were reporting or getting on the phone with emergency services? What were you feeling? Okay. Yeah, of course. It's a very... I'm not sure really how to describe that situation. It's a very intense situation to be a witness to. And when we talk about when you witnessed this, what was your angle of observation? Were you able to see very clearly? Were you off to the side? Did you get a split view? Maybe there was a tree in the way. How exactly did you observe this? You were just smack boom right in the front of the house. And there was nothing obstructing your view. A car, a tree, bushes, a light pole, a telephone pole, a mailbox. Nothing in your way. You just saw them clear as day. And you were like in front of the driveway? Because I'm pretty sure that there's more than one small tree. There's a mailbox, and there was 2 cars parked in that driveway, plus the silver Dodge. So I'm not sure if maybe you're just not remembering correctly, but I can guarantee that there are items of obstruction that you should have seen if you were in the exact front of that place? Not that you can recall. Okay, no worries. Sometimes we don't pick up on those details, especially when the adrenaline is pumping. But I know, have to ask. Now, how long did this incident take, would you say? From when you heard screams, you saw the people running out the house, they jump in the truck, they skirt off. How much time passed before, or just in general, before when you saw these people come out of the house, right? Were they running, walking, like a sprint? Okay, so they're sprinting out of the house. Is this at the same time that you hear help? Or is this after you hear help? Or what? Maybe like 10 seconds? Okay, 10 seconds. So you're driving up. You have your window down because it doesn't go up all the way. You have someone saying help, right? And you pull over because you were waiting to see what that was. About 10 seconds later, you see 3 men running outside. Was it men or just suspects? You don't know. Okay, so you see 3 suspects running outside, jump into their truck, and drive off. How long do you think it took from them to run out the door, get in the car, before they were out of sight and you could no longer see them? So maybe like 40 seconds or less, you're saying? Okay, all right. That must be one of our units going out right now. Hopefully we didn't have another incident like this. Alright, so at the time that this occurred, what were the weather conditions like? Was it super bright outside? Was it cloudy and dreary? How was it? Pretty clear? So is it safe to say that it was bright outside as well? Okay, and so you would probably have had a good view of these suspects. You wouldn't be confused. Okay. Like maybe one wasn't a shadow, like it was nighttime and there's actually only 2, but you saw a shadow of one thinking it was a 3rd. That didn't happen. 3 distinct suspects. All right. And did you call emergency services? You were the reporter? Okay. And we will make sure to pull that call and see exactly what time that was, just to see if this all is lining up pretty smoothly or not. Let's see if there's anything else I need to ask you. So, about these suspects, that's all I'm going to ask you. A little bit more about the suspects. Any other details or information that you can give me, and then I'm gonna let you go for now because I need to start looking into this and start setting up exactly how this happened, what went down, who was involved, so we can bring some justice to this case and this situation. So for the suspects, can you tell me everything that you can about them? Just start rambling it off and I'll stop you and ask you if there's something else. Okay, so one's taller than the rest. How much taller? What about how high do you think they stood? Maybe about 6 foot each. And one was taller than that. Okay, the driver. Okay, and what were they wearing? Black on black on black, just that's it. Was it sweatpants, tight pants? Was it a hoodie? Was it a long sleeve shirt? What could you see? Okay, and the one was wearing black jeans. What about the shoes? You think they all had on the same shoes? Are you sure? Do you know what kind of shoes? Black Air Force Ones. Okay. anything else that you saw that was distinct about it? Any detail that you can remember? Maybe one walked kind of funny or had something distinct about the way they swung their arm. Anything? Nothing? It was too quick? Yeah, I understand. Well, hopefully we can pull some footage from surrounding Ring doorbells. I believe there is a lot in the area, so we should be able to see what's going on. And aside from that, is there anything else that you would like to expand on? Any clues or evidence that you think would be important that you want to elaborate or expand or just give more detail on? Who said that? Okay. When? Yesterday that was said? You saw it on a Facebook post? But I thought you said you didn't know what would be the reason for the crime. You said, oh, I have no idea why, but now you're saying you might have saw something about a Facebook post. You just forgot to mention that, or you just remembered? You just remembered, okay. No worries. Alright, well, I will look into that claim as well. And if there isn't anything else, you are free to go. For now. Not saying that you'll be back here, but not sure. Of course, we have to put an end to this and figure out exactly what happened. So in the meantime, you may leave. You are not under arrest or anything, but I would ask you that you keep your phone close by and just keep yourself available because we may have more questions or maybe another interview, okay? Alright, well, I appreciate your time and all the evidence that you've given me. I appreciate it very much, and I'll be in contact, okay? Alright, have a good day.